Hey everyone, Scotty Mo's back online. So today in this video, we just wanted to explore the topic of civil war. I just have to talk about it yet again. I don't want to drag it on and make it a long video. I just want to make the points concise. But in my last video, I didn't really explain very well what my predictions are on how civil war in the UK would look like. Now, I can't really predict how it would look like. I can't really predict when exactly it will happen, but it will probably be happening sooner than we expect. It will occur on a number of unpredictable ways. There's a lot of scenarios in which it could possibly happen, but I'm going to reiterate my point that I said in my previous video. I believe that civil war will be fought along sectarian lines. It may not begin at the initial stages involving the native Brits or the indigenous Englishmen. It may just begin with some kind of microcosm of one of those foreign proxy wars that are being currently fought on British soil. I mean, you have a conflict between the Israel and Palestine supporters that comes under a lot of debate. It's a very contentious subject. There's tension between the Pakistani community and the Hindus and the Sikh community. There's probably going to be conflict between the Shia Muslims and the Sunni Muslims, and different sort of ethnic communities coming together, clashing and coming into conflict. A lot of these communities, they don't have any commonality with each other, especially in these mega cities. In London, everyone's cramped up. You know, the UK is a very kind of urbanized, densely populated environment, and when you have these different enclaves, it's not, you know, Sadiq Khan calls it some kind of multicultural melting pot. I don't think it's melting pot at all. I describe it as a boiling pot. When these different cultures, these different communities, they're not intermingling with each other. They actually live in different parts of the country or parts of a city, where they just stick to their own community. They don't really exchange a lot of value with other different communities. The Bangladeshis are on one corner, the Indians on one corner, the Pakistanis are on another side of the area. That's what's happening. The only point where I would say I have a sense of optimism is that a lot of people right now, they're becoming a lot more aware. They're becoming very aware of what's going on. No matter how much the MSM, the police, mainstream media, the authorities, the politicians, they try to hide the nuance and the detail behind all of these protests erupting outside of these migrant hotels. They're scattered all over the country, and people are organising all sorts of operations. We've recently seen Operation Raise the Colours. So I find that there's this kind of awakening from the native people. You're seeing all these Union Jack and St George's flags being propped up all over Birmingham, in a multitude of cities and areas on lampposts, and people are starting to wake up. And when the time comes, I think that the native indigenous Brits, they'll be ready to fight. They'll stand up and fight, and they'll be ready to put up a fight, because they've had enough. Time and time again, we've been betrayed. Our communities have been destroyed over a long period of time. So I think all of this activism and awareness, spreading of awareness, it really helps to reinforce this kind of strength and courage within kind of the sentiment of a lot of people on our side of the movement. That's what gives us kind of this preparation for the inevitable, which is civil war in the UK. Now, I want to show you some of the footage that I saw on X, demonstrating what happened in the Pakistani community, specifically when it came to the celebrations in Pakistani Independence Day. And after I've shown you the footage, I'll make my final point.
My own life for Pakistan. Pakistan. Sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So after you've seen all of that footage, you know, my thinking is, if we actually manage to get a successful, effective government in place to deport every single illegal immigrant out of this country and make drastic changes to our country, which means the expelling of people who don't belong in this country, I believe that government will be, you know, will come from the advanced political party. That's my opinion. What makes you think that these people, these individuals from the Pakistani community, or particularly from the Islamic religious community, they're not going to come out wreaking havoc, spreading all sorts of chaos, disruption, mass civil unrest from this specific community, and they'll come out like a pack of hyenas? Because when you come after one of them, you come after 10 of them, you come after all of them. They have this kind of mob mentality, this kind of sentiment. It's just so, it's very destructive. And I think no amount of kind of deportations or drastic changes, I said, will stop the inevitable. They will. You've seen it in the United States, with the way that Donald Trump is mass deporting Mexicans, you know, away from American soil and back to Mexico. You saw riots happening on the streets of, I believe, California, or was it like the border between Mexico and the US? Mass riots from people who immigrated to the United States from Mexico, and now they're turning it into the third world. They're turning it into a war zone. I believe this will happen. I predict this will genuinely happen in the UK. You know, when Ben Habib starts deporting all of these immigrants, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, we're happy with that, go on ahead, fill your boots up, deport every single one of us, we're just going to let it slide along. No, they're going to come out in mass civil protest. And so it's very hard to avoid this kind of outcome. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. That's my take on it, my viewpoints. I appreciate all your feedback and all of your comments. It's Guardy Mode clocking out. Prepare for the worst, everyone. It might just be inevitable. Civil war in the UK. I'll see you in the next video.